Hello, I'm Sue Dunn, Sage 100 Sales Director here at Micro Accounting. Thanks for joining me today for an introductory session related to Business Insights Explorer. This is one of the best reporting tools and easiest to use within Sage 100. This will be session 1 in a series of 3 sessions related to the Business Insights module. Today we're going to focus on general navigation and what will you learn? We're going to add and remove fields. We're going to look at screen totaling options, exporting of the data, and then saving your customized view for future reference. Let's go ahead and do the product demonstration so you can see for yourself what a great reporting tool this is. Today we're going to take a few minutes to just take a quick peek at what's one of the best reporting options within Sage 100. For those of you who haven't spent much time looking at some of the alternative reporting tools, we're going to look at Business Insights, specifically at the Explorer views that can be used for an easy way to manage and retrieve data from the system. If we look at the various tables that are available here, these are built in and also can connect to additional tables that are pre-designed and always populated with data. We're going to take a look at the customer history invoices view to just take and evaluate the data down a little bit, get it within this window. There we go. So what we've got here is 2 different grids, and this is the view of the data that's in the customer history tables. And this grid is what's considered the upper grid, and the lower grid down here actually has a secondary set of data that you can see right on the screen. If you click on each one of the different invoice numbers that are in the history, you can see that the bottom grid keeps changing. What that means is this is the actual data down here in the secondary grid that relates to the invoice that's listed. One of the best pieces of managing this is being able to move the data fields around. So you can have them however you'd like. So you can move these gradually across to a different spot. You can actually remove them completely if you don't need them. Just pull them off to the side. Or you can use this little grid tool and uncheck the different fields that you really don't need to have displaying so that you can tidy it up till it's got only the information on it that you're looking for. So if you want to skinny this down to just the invoice total and who it was sold to, it kind of streamlines the detail that you're going to see on the screen. Makes it very easy to work with. So now what we've got is strictly the customer, the invoice number, date, and the amount of the invoice. And remove the terms too. Again, you can just pull that right off to the top and it just takes it off the screen. You can add it back on simply by using this grid, or you can come over here and do a right click on any one of the top fields listed and go to column settings, add the field back on, or you can add fields that are actually from some of the connected other tables. So here you've got every field that's part of the actual AR invoice history header, and you can pull any one of those in that you'd like, or you can pull in the fields from the connected table from the customer master. And something to be aware of is that if you had user-defined fields listed here, they'd be at the bottom of each one of these listings, and those can be added as well because they will the data will be populated and available for visibility within this upper grid or the lower grid for that matter if you've got fields that are part of the lines section of the invoice. Another really cool feature with this is up here where it says standard view, that comes built in. You can toggle that and actually have these be a public view or a private view. So if you've got this shuffled around the way that you want it, and you always want to be able to come back to that same exact view, you can tell it that you want to save the setting as your custom view, or your name, whatever you'd like to call it, and save it as either public, where everyone can use it and maneuver the data around, or you can save it as a private setting so that only you, when you log in, are able to make any changes to it, and no one will ever be able to touch it and change the setup that you've got in there. So now that I've saved that, it's going to pop up as the custom view, and whenever you launch the Business Insights Explorer again for the customer history invoices view, you'll have the option to use the standard, which is what it'll default to, or the custom view that you've created. So next, what you can do in here, which is super easy, is to filter on the data. You can either use this filtering tool in the middle, or one of these other filtering tools up at the top. Or lastly, you can filter right on, the information that's here. So you can filter and drill it down to only showing that particular customer. And another way to manage the data that you're seeing on the screen is to group it, and you drag a column right into here and tell it to group by the customer name. Once you do that, the next thing you can do, and I'm just going to skinny this down a little bit further so that you can see the details on the screen. You can also do totals on the screen. So I've got a subtotal field and a grand total field. So what I'm going to do is right click in the gray area for totaling, and I'm going to get a sum of the subtotals. So as we scroll down, you can see all the different subtotals for each customer. Then I can get a grand total of everything that I'm seeing on the screen. So you could run this report or gather this data based on, invoice dates. You can do it by customer. You can pull in the ship to and see, here's the ship to over here. So if it went to a different ship to or a different ship to state, and you wanted to group the information to evaluate, how many sales you had in a specific state, this is a great tool for quickly and easily filtering on that data. You can also drill into and manage the data below. That's all the lines from the historical invoices, and group those again by customer or by item number, by ship to. Any of the things you're seeing at the top here can be added to the lower grid, and you can just manage the data by actual quantities and items sold. So that's another great tool here, which we will explore on our next video. But lastly, real quickly, if you wanted to be able to send this information out to Excel or Word or any one of these other options that they've got on the screen here, you can use File, Export, and send this quickly out to Excel, which is a very popular tool for managing the data and being able to quickly get a report pushed out to Excel. So there you have it. This was the first view for you of the Business Insights Explorer tool within Sage 100. And the next time that we get together, we'll show you another few features of using the Business Insights Explorer. So thank you for taking a peek at the great reporting tools that are available in Sage 100.